to see if we will see any meta breakers, any sort of teams trying to be the Chengdus, or even just the Mayhem Academies of last season again for this season.
Man, I'm not even sure if Chengdu really knows really what they're doing. I just feel like it's organized chaos.
Doing. They just don't have someone that can play a main tank. they have Evil Toaster. They have Chinese Evil Toaster with a Ming. So.
Oh man, that is harsh. But we're getting into it here. Bermuda, of course, one of the most familiar names you should know there. Ultima Wep, veteran of the scene, still in there. Going to be playing Brigida for them as they roll out on a very standard 3-3 versus the Reaper of Mayhem Academy.
Reaper, I don't like this hero, ZP. I don't like Reaper at all, not one bit.
Not one bit. Almost going to full Dr. Seuss, green eggs and ham, but guess what? Ultima Wep gets caught. Fact Fiction, though, ends up giving his life as he looks for it, so trades back and forth. One team with Orion, the other team still with a Brig. Mayhem Academy, though, with more presence on the point. Shax and Manitin just rolling forward.
The Brig trade was a lot better for Mayhem there, because Brig is one of those heroes, one of the mini heroes in the 3 that can really hard stop the Reaper from pushing forward aggressively because of those bashes, because of the flails. But removing Brig means that the Reaper had a lot more room to be aggressive, which you need to do.
Speaking of aggressive, they're just holding forward right now.
The right play again. This is the right. When you're playing Reaper, you can't play passive. You actually have to look for the setup to chase when you can. Like I said, I don't like Reaper. I don't think he necessarily does anything better in the 3-3 setup. But if you're going to be playing Reaper, you need to be playing on his strengths.
Funny thing about Reaper, just watch him chase people. You want to give a little bit of hate to Ninja running, but you look at Reaper, he's just like holding out, arms outstretched. He's like, I'm going to shoot you with some shotguns, and hey, worked out. On Mangachu, getting caught early. Mayhem Academy going in for the grab. Nice barrier just in the nick of time from OG. And that's going to work out pretty nicely for Bermuda here.
That's a triple support for Bermuda as Ute flanks around the left side, gets a great shatter, and that will finish the fight.
So the good part there for Bermuda is that even after layering ults, they still take the fight. The downside is
they layered ults.
Yeah, they also used everything.
Paintbrush has beat now too. Yeah. And since Avast doesn't have that grab, this is a free fight for Mayhem to beat and rally and just walk forward with the Reaper. That's what you should be looking to do, is just use those support ults and just non-stop W plus M1 with Reaper.
Manitin's training for this game was to remove the S key from his keyboard.
I hope so, because when you're playing Reaper, you can't be playing S.
Well, early self-destruct coming in here for Bermuda, and it's a bit off the mark. Meanwhile, Mayhem Academy does what is prophesized. They hold W, and they roll to the team. Manitin cannot stop. And Mayhem Academy going to take the fight
and Bermuda
right back.
Played themselves there, ZP, because not only did Mayhem take advantage of the fact that they double layered support ults, but because of the fact that Shu had used the Diva Bomb, there was no Matrix for the Reaper, so the Reaper could walk free and just do whatever he wanted.
I mean, this is really about it here. You know, Manitin, he's got his Fitbit on. He's getting his steps in for the day.
He definitely got his steps in. His shadow steps.
Ooh. You know, that's one thing I'm not even sure we have seen. He's just thrown that ability to the side. But Graviton going to be coming in here. Mayhem Academy looking for the follow through. Manitin getting right into the fray of things here. Pushed on out. Transcendence used by Bermuda coming on over. But here comes Focus Fire onto Umte. He can't get away. Fact Fiction going to fish it off. And now with one up, Manitin moving in. Just going to get away there for a moment. Then now
he decides to drop the defensive Reaper ult. Using the Reaper ult to clean up OG and Ultima Wep.
It works out. It gets 2. It's fine.
You know, it's unconventional, but when it works, it works.
Yeah, when it works, it's absolutely fine. Mayhem Academy, 99%. Bermuda can't stand the point, and you know, call it what you will. Your cynicism of Reaper aside.
I mean, to be fair, they got way too much. I mean, the double support ults from Bermuda, using the Diva Bomb aggressively, but then they just walk forward when there's no Matrix. When you lose to Reaper, you're not getting outplayed by the kit, you're outplaying yourself.
And the best part is, instead of just asking you a question there, I'd be like, so what went wrong there? All you have to do is just go your earlier mention there about Reaper. It's like, look, it's not Reaper. Look at all the things they did wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it really is like if a team had also capitalized off those mistakes the same way with a different hero, my personal opinion is the result would be the same. But they did play the Reaper very well. They didn't make any egregious errors. They used it the right way if you are going to play Reaper.
Well, it certainly worked out for Mayhem Academy there, and they are sticking a little bit closer to the meta, coming out on a 3-3 with the Moira. And you mentioned that versus a DPS heavy setup, this is quite good.
I mean, you need the Moira as opposed to the Zen because it is a little bit harder to collapse, to catch the Moira rotations because of the fact that she can shift away, she can just run away to the team. She has a lot of self-sustain as well. But Mayhem look like they're going to make it an even more interesting swap they're going to keep the Moira, but get Roadhog, Diva, Sombra.
For a second, I thought they'd be going for the Far v Far mirror. Mega
Oh,
okay! Wow! Mangachu going, I know how to play Far, and I certainly know how to ground him. Wow! Nice hook!
That was an incredible, just the flip 90 degrees. Mayhem as well, just able to sit on the point without ultimate web doing that damage. They're going to get the hack onto Shu, clean up there. Manton demech, but this is really just Mayhem Academy's fight now.
Yeah, I think when you ground a Pharah that hard, it's going to be your fight.
Bermuda look like they're actually making the swaps to the full 3-3 now. They're not even going to attempt to run that full dive. They're not going to run the Hammond, the Sombra, the Pharaoh. They're just going to go 3-3, which I think is the right play because this is definitely much easier to win. But Mangachu as well, gone back to spawn and swap. They hit the swap their top.
Yeah, man, it was a really nice reaction. They're like, okay, we see the swap coming. We're going to swap ourselves. Now we're going to move forward. They get way fast a second before the Transcendence. Just in time, but it comes at a cost. Mangachu's going to fall. There with the follow-through damage, and even with the early pickoff, even with the late Transcendence, looks like Bermuda will be retaking the point here.
Yeah, that is going to be, and really that just comes down to that Pizza Demon had Trance, and Mayhem Academy did not. Mayhem Academy did not have that ult. They did have the Coalescence, but unless you get a pick very early, you will lose the sustained battle because Trance is such a strong ultimate. You just get so much utility.
Really quite good. Bermuda now we're going to hold back here. Earth Shatter up, but Mayhem Academy, they've given themselves a lead.
Mayhem Academy, they're in a solid position now. Pizza Demon still lapping a little bit in the Trance as Mayhem comes in with the Diva Bomb, not able to catch anyone just yet, but they do have a solid position. And he tries to drop the Shatter and dies.
It worked so well for the Manitons. Self-destruct, yeah, it didn't get any pickoffs, but it split them. It gave them the opportunity to rush on in to get the Reinhardt. It was still well played here for Mayhem Academy, and they use it to retake this point.
That shield presence was so important, like we talked about on Umte. When they split, the Diva Bomb still did damage to Umte's shield, so they break the shield, and really instead of trying to hold it, he tries to do a very, very panicky Shatter and then loses it. A huge ult to lose, and now Mayhem, they recap the point, they're getting their support ult up, they're in a really good position. And
I look to Shax, Graviton ready, Bermuda all close together here. Ideal situation. Now Transcendence is up in the nick of time, but Mayhem can still set the tone of this fight. Shax under pressure early on, doesn't want to throw the grab away. Maniton also getting chunks of his back. The grab needed to come out a little bit earlier. Finally, grab's gonna come out and they use it to finish off Umte. Better late than never, and it certainly does work out.
Back, getting 2 more kills. There's gonna be Shu jumping off the map. Maniton takes out Pizza Demon at the end, and that's gonna be another fight won for Mayhem Academy. They hold forward aggressively. They're going to have another Shatter, another Trance up soon. This is Bermuda's fight to win, considering they have the beat, they have the bomb, they can touch point. There's no combo to worry about.
Here's the key here, Mayhem Academy, nice and secure in the point. Gets taken down!
Oh, OG!
Doesn't hit the ground, you don't get the barrier. Nice focus fire from Mayhem Academy to deny the beat, to stop the sharing of music right there in its tracks. And Mayhem Academy, off of that play, they're going to deal with the remnants. Overtime is ticking down. Mayhem Academy renewed here. It's a new season. It's a renewed setup. We've knocked down our audio equipment.
We have.
We're going to tactfully put that back up.
Put our audio right there.
You know,
buddy.
It's really the chair. So hopefully we are centered on our marks.
We are sort of centered.
Yeah.
Let's regardless of our production problems. Regardless of what's happening in the background, which you guys can't see, Wizard of Ozing over here.
Yeah.
Mayhem. They're looking good.
Yeah.
They looked really good. And OG, I've complained. Honestly, I'm on your side. I've complained about this for ages. Lucio should not have a cast time, bro. It shouldn't. It shouldn't have a cast time. Why does Trance not have a cast time? Why does Lucio, you have to touch the ground? It stinks. But also maybe don't try to beat from the top ropes of the cage, you know, if you have to touch the point.
But it looks so much cooler,
Don't do
clearly.
that.
The style points where he's not just dropping the beat, he's dropping the beat.
Like it's not entirely his fault. He has to get to the point, and he had beat, so there's no reason not to use it there. It was last fight. But realistically, you'd probably want to drop the beat on the high ground, then touch the point. But, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you go for the drop and you just get dropped.
It happens.
That was it. That was it. Mayhem Academy, though, looking good here so far. But just map 1, as we know, you can win the first 2 maps really easily. And then still go to map 5.
Go to map 5. But Mayhem, I think, are showing all the strengths they didn't have so much in the last Contender season so far. Obviously, we only have 1 map of data so far. It's not a huge pool. But They looked decisive, they used their advantages wisely, and they made sure to have strong focus fire. In particular was just getting hard focus, which is pretty common in this 3-3 setup. Your Ryan is going to be the focus for a lot of damage coming at him, and they just were able to mitigate the damage a lot better onto Fact than was for Bermuda. Yeah,
and it simply worked out. But guys, we are getting into our next map. We're keeping the downtime to a minimum here. It is going to be hybrid where we go to next. We'll see if Bermuda, who fought their way through trials, now up against a reinvigorated Mayhem Academy, can turn things back around. It's going to be King's Row, where we take it to next.
We're giving you this chair.
Oh, you're giving me this chair? Okay.
And I want you to move it.
Oh, you want me to? Okay, that's fine.
Away, because we're not knocking down our audio equipment again.
Yeah, I mean,
not happening.
Yeah, that would be wise. It's borrowed audio equipment at that. So, you know, let's treat the audio equipment with care, lest we have to buy replacements.
It is. It is very high-tech stuff. But now, Mayhem, Bermuda here on the first of King's Row. Mayhem, it looks like he's just waiting around to trying to figure out what they're going to play, and it looks like Mayhem wants to run this Sombra defense. We saw Fusion Uni run this in the game previous. You have to play a little slower to build the EMP.
And it is interesting, too, because it puts Manitin on something that, you know, might not be in his comfort zone, where, you know, I'm curious to see how Manitin goes here, where obviously he's a longtime veteran of FPS games, but you never know how your Flex Tank is going to do when put onto a role like Sombra.
No, you really don't, because it is a DPS hero. Yeah. You know, it's a damage dealer. And so it is a very different dynamic. And Sombra itself, they've given a lot of mechanics now where they're long invis and the translocate, the permanence of it. But they decided to swap, put Shu back here onto Z.
Bermuda, again, just running the 3-3, and they're just going straight to the point. This is how you deal with it. They get Manitin immediately. Manitin unable to get away, and, well, that is probably going to be all she wrote here for this point. That is the power of a 3-3.
If Mayhem stays alive, they can recontest if they stay alive. It looks like they do want to have the recontest, but well played for Bermuda, just rushing the front line. That's what you need to do against the Sombra.
And they're just scaring them away. Mayhem Academy, it's going to be rough to give in. OG gets caught. Now they have a chance. Both going to stun into each other. Fact Fiction getting their point. They need to keep people on the point at all times. So Jack's picking up 2. Mayhem Academy very well might be bringing this back.
But Fact is so low. They are going to get the frag there.
And the point.
Shu picks him up. Back. He has 95% on the Shatter. If he's able to get this, he might not have to even invest it at all, actually, because that's going to make you down. He does drop the Shatter. Manitin down. Will they be able to clean him up? They do.
And that's going to be enough. Bermuda, a quick strike onto point A. Going to be forcing Mayhem Academy back. And look, that's just one of those things where you're running the Sombra. You have to delay. And unfortunately for Mayhem Academy, Bermuda found the right time to just simply walk over the point, and they walked over and trampled Manitin in the process.
This is a team built out of this meta. I mean, they worked their way through trials, so they've been playing this sort of 3-3 oriented, how the current balance iteration is for these teams. So they know if they see a Sombra, Bermuda's going to rush in and kill the front line. They're going to fight the front line very heavily. So well played for Bermuda to recognize that.
Mayhem Academy going back here into the streets. Fact holding on to the Shatter. EMP ready for Manitin. Heavy pressure from Bermuda. Fact doesn't blink. Drops the hammer. Immediately picking up 2. Well timed from Fact. The EMP, of course, is thrown into that as well.
But now having to use that EMP means that Bermuda will be coming back. They're going to have Trance. They're going to get close-ish to a beat. So they don't have any clear win conditions for this next fight. Unless Shax is able to hit a really, really good grab and maybe isolate someone.
Well, you know what? They're going to be sneaky with it. They're going to go to the top floor and hope.
I like this a lot. Taking high ground is always the best play. When possible, taking high ground is always the best play.
Manitin not getting as much ult charge as you want there, but does buy a bit of time. And Bermuda, they're going to fight high ground for high ground here. They're evicting them from the penthouse apartment here, so to speak. Fact. Oh! Okay. The charge for Fact. Getting what he's looking for. Man advantage, Mayhem Academy, and you get the Lucio down. Guess what? No one's really mobile on the other side.
Now, Bermuda have worked themselves into a corner, though, because they moved the touch point. Now they're split, having to regroup, and there is going to be Ultimate Web getting picked off late. They decided to commit for that point pressure, but they were just able to stagger themselves.
And it's going to cost them a lot of time. If you're Mayhem Academy, you're very happy with this turn of events.
They are. I mean, that's the best possible scenario you can have. You win the fight up top, you get the late frag, and now you're able to come back to the spawn and hold aggressive.
Meanwhile, Bermuda going to be resetting here. Both support ults ready. Same for Mayhem Academy. This is going to be a key fight to the entire matchup here. Self-destruct, opening early from Shu. Over, does not connect.
Good bubbles from Shax.
Really nice from Mayhem Academy. Now they'll go back the other way. Fact dropping the shatter, not getting a whole lot.
That's the zone. That's a zone denial shatter.
It's the, you're going to have to repave these streets shatter, but guess what? They lost Manitin in between. Fact! Takes Ultimate Weapon a ride, but it comes at a dear cost.
However, if Shaxx is able to stay alive here, we talk about energy a lot for Zarya's, but really, energy is cheap. Energy is cheap in 3-3. You get it all the time. It's only in the transitions that it's very important. And because Shaxx was able to keep it high average energy for that transition fight, not get picked off late, that is very important. Now, if he got picked off earlier, he'd have plenty of time to get the energy back.
And the good part here from Mayhem Academy going in is that, yes, Bermuda is stacked to the gills here, but a good grab EMP is going to be very difficult to deal with. Mayhem Academy, they're looking for it. They get grabbed first. EMP comes out from Manitin. In comes the barrier, and Bermuda gonna layer support ults here. Big mistake, because you look at Paintbrush. He's going to be able to barrier here in a second. It's going to be a huge advantage for Mayhem Academy, and they don't even have to use it.
And we've seen this now. We saw it last game with second win, even though it was against Fusion Unity, which is everyone assumes is a great team. But wait,
Bermuda got the point.
Oh, they did.
They got the point.
They did. We didn't even see, but they did indeed cap the point. But it's still, they layered support ults, and they're getting, and also that's going to be Mayhem getting the stagger frag on the shoe. Getting second though was gigantic. So really good push. They managed to get them off Mayhem Academy off the point to where they could actually cap.
Bermuda's lucky here that Mayhem Academy was a bit too slow in getting there, because if they had gotten there and denied second, Bermuda would be in a very terrible spot. It'd basically be game.
And now Shaxx going to be forced off the high ground. The rally used for Ultimate Web, trying to just engage aggressively to Mayhem, but they're making the right play and backing up. When you just run away from rally now, since the armor doesn't persist, the value of it isn't very high.
Well, Fact pulling around the corner, waiting for the intel. When can he turn around the corner and drop the hammer? Waiting for it. Shield low. Shield blocking for Fact. Waiting, drops it! That is huge coming in from Fact. The judgment there, absolutely great. The communication that had been going on behind the scenes, even better.
I mean, you know, we talk about the communication a lot, but really the communication for a play like that is straightforward. You just have to do it. Where they pop the rally, they pressure the shield very heavily, save their bubble so Fact can swing, and then as soon as the shield is broken, despite Umte dropping the shatter, he drops a counter shatter. All it was just using your resources correctly.
Smart from Mayhem Academy. Bermuda now down to 2 minutes and 14 seconds. About 3 pushes left in the tank if they're lucky. We'll see what they have to do.
He's going to be close to that beat, open left close to the rally as well. There's the grab from Wayfast. The bomb is out. Will Mayhem live?
Shu gets 2 off the setup. Good for Bermuda. What they needed here to get things going. It's still going to take a lot of time just to push the payload from here towards the end. This is a fight they needed to win.
And this is actually a really, really rough position for Mayhem, because they won't have any support ults. All they're going to have is the bomb and the upcoming rally for Mangachu, while Bermuda, they have the beat, they have rally. They can look to engage super aggressively onto Mayhem.
Bermuda moving forward. Mayhem going to be looking to Manitin. The bomb is out. Are they going to get one picked off? No. Bermuda absolutely fine. Rally coming in here from multiple left. Bermuda rolling right back over. They smell blood in the water right here. Mangachu, though, says rally to me. Mayhem Academy fighting back through, and Mangachu gets spoofed off. You can't rally to him because he's in the pit. And there goes Fucked! Company moving in for OG. Almost gets a third. Oh, man. Nice plays coming in there from Bermuda, and that might be enough. The grab is there in the fall through. They will finish out King's Row, but not with the second over a minute. Mayhem Academy has been at least able to deny that much.
Great play from OG, getting those boops. I mean, really, the boops were key, and also using the beat to ensure his team lives through the bomb, the rally to engage. They recognize their pretty much their advantages. You have to see in the 3-3 meta where you're having the mirror matchup, you have to realize, do we have a support ult advantage? Do they have grab? No. Let's walk into them. Let us walk into them, and you will more likely than not find an opening.
You know all the classic images of the person looking at a whole bunch of different math equations going through here? Someone on your team needs to be doing that for ult tracking, and when the equations all line up and everything is great, you just go, gentlemen, move forward and just roll into them. Everything will be fine.
I mean, that's pretty much all you need to be doing, is looking for any sort of openings. The support ult bunny hop is so important right now for 3-3. So well played from Bermuda. It looked kind of grim. We didn't think they got second at first, but they did manage to nudge that cap. I think if they hadn't gotten second off that very, very minuscule distance differential, they would have been probably in a very much worse setup. Not even potentially being able to cap second because they layered those support ults.
No doubt about it. But Mayhem Academy, they've been looking good here overall. And again, as you mentioned, could have been a much more severe defense. Now we look to their attack here, where You know, I don't think it's going to be Shaxx and the Ham. And instead, let's take a look at the Bermuda defense. And they're not trying to reinvent the wheel here, but they are expecting some DPS coming in, given that this demon is on the Moira.
Yeah, they're not reinventing the wheel, but they are adding some spokes to the tires, potentially, because this is a Moira defense they're expecting, like you talked about, more DPS heroes for Mayhem. And it's risky, because the offense can always just go back to spawn and swap.
Yeah, the spawn is actually right there.
And you won't have Zen now.
No. So this is already, to a degree, a decent looking Mayhem mechanic, especially given that they're running out with a 3-2-1. It's going to be up to see how quickly Manitin gets the EMP. And okay, Bermuda being heavily aggressive. They swing on in, Paintbrush in trouble. And yet, Mayhem Academy, they realign. They move forward, and even without Manitin getting a ton of pressure, they're just moving forward, and they get Umte! That shouldn't happen.
No, Bermuda made the wrong play there. They needed to be aggressive, but they needed to wait for the right moment. They went too far, too fast, and then just lost the Ryan barrier, and they weren't able to sustain. The fight lasted too long. Ep's got too much value, even though he is picked up.
And now, even as you're in a fight of attrition, this favors the offense so much on Kings Row, because guess what? They got the close hotel to the venue. Their spawn is right there, and even as Bermuda is fighting this back,
Pizza Demon should be swapping, by the way.
Yes.
Pizza Demon he used the Coalescence. They should be swapping. Realistically, Mayhem should have won that fight because of those early picks, but they just got picked off slowly but surely. So well played for Bermuda to bring it back, but already 50% on first for Mayhem.
The problem they're going to be running into here is that because the fight went so long, Manitin was able to get a lot of extra ult charge. The EMP now fully set up, and now you look to Manitin, right? Comes up over, drops the EMP on the majority of their team, and it's already over, but why Transcend?
Eps was, I think that was the play. The play was called, we're going to EMP and Trance in. Probably a little overzealous for Mayhem Academy there. They could have just used the EMP and then saved the Trance if they needed it, but it was a set play, more likely not. It was because of how quickly it was done, had to have been something called before.
Makes sense, but Mayhem Academy still on the verge of saying a very quick time here. 4 minutes, 45 seconds. Yeah, they didn't really set back, but it's Bermuda that is on the hot seats.
Yeah, now Pizza Demon making that swap over to Zen. Mayhem Academy, though, they're going to be ahead. I mean, they're pretty much equal in beat, but they will be ahead in those tank ults way fast. Coming up very soon, though, to the draft.
Bermuda, they need to somehow make this fight work if they're going to buy time. Pressure going to Shu in the back, almost getting D-Mac. Shatter going down, knocks down 2. They're looking real ugly here for Bermuda as Mayhem Academy just feasts on them right on the payload.
Huge shatter from Fact. Fact has been hitting some fantastic shatters so far this series. Clearly just having the better setup and the better aggression than Umte, just knowing, you know, also a big part of it is when you get all that support, that extra backline support, Ryan, you get a lot more space to do what you want. But that shatter opening up the fight, they did use grab though. Shaxx did use that grab, which means way fast will be coming up. They're going to have the combo for Bermuda for this next recontest.
Bermuda gonna need to make something happen here. I mean, this is a fight they should win. This is something where it's not about if they should win, it's about how much do they expend here, and for them, hopefully not.
Oh, the bomb gets caught on the cart, though.
That's not what they're looking for, and also Shu got caught in the middle of it. This is a disaster for Bermuda. They're going to use the barrier here to try and stay in. They invest in Transcends even after Ultimate Weapon's down. They're throwing good money after bad, and it's just getting worse. They pin Fact, but man, this should be Mayhem's fight now, but it shouldn't have been.
That was a huge, I mean, they lost Fact from the pin from Umte. Umte gets a great counter pin, but then Mayhem decides to bomb over the top with Manitin and move forward with the rally and catch the split players on the right. Great play for Mayhem, but my goodness, that bomb, Shu must be haunted by the bomb being caught off the cart and then getting picked.
Collision is a thing. 4 minutes and 30 seconds here for Mayhem Academy. They could be setting a much quicker time here.
This is a very, very quick time for Kings Row. Mayhem Academy now just moving up, looking for the next fight. No Zarya bubbles used yet. Armor pack though for Bermuda, so there is something for Mayhem if they do want to try to take this.
Shaxx just gonna drop the grab right down Broad Street here. The fall through is there. Easy stuff for Mayhem Academy. And this is very tough for Bermuda. How do they get out of spawn and reverse course?
I mean, they're gonna have Trance. They're coming up on grab. They have ults for this recontest, especially with Shaxx not having grab. But Shaxx, he's so far forward. He's just trying to get a little bit of ult charge. But they drop the shatter. Umte just drops the shatter on how far forward. They get the pick on Fact as well while Epson dropped the Trance.
And they were so far up that Eps couldn't get there in time to Transcend. That's not Eps's fault.
Huge read from Bermuda. That was a great read.
That was fantastic from Umte there. And as a result, the momentum that Mayhem Academy is working with, the nearly guaranteed faster time, has evaporated.
And the best part for Bermuda is that because Epps tried to use that Trance to save his team, they will not have it for the grab. Bermuda has a free grab, essentially.
super good coming in for Bermuda, and just an overextension from Mayhem Academy. Mayhem Academy, though, going to the well once more, moving forward. In fact, dropping the hammer, does it again! Knocks down Ultimate Weapon, but the fall through, it's not quite there. Shu had the bomb going at the same time and picks off 3.
Yeah, followed up from the grab. That was a really good play for Bermuda. They've held, once again, they have both their support ults coming up, soon to have another shatter. Mayhem have to be kicking themselves, but they're building up their own ult bank. They're soon to have 5.
Really nice stuff coming in here from Bermuda to fight back. Mayhem Academy now 2 minutes and 45 seconds. This is a fight they can win, but they've lost a lot of momentum.
They have lost a lot of momentum here. As actually, look at way fast. He got booped in. They're trying to catch him. Mayhem Academy so aggressive.
They dropped the grab. Now they're going to catch him and then some. Here comes Seltzor Manitin looking for more. Gets 2.
Good charge from Feng, along with boop from Paint, just setting up, moving the barriers out of the way for the bomb. So now Mayhem cleaned up the fight. And they've managed to keep both support ults, which means this next fight, Mayhem can just afford to run into the first player they see.
It's real simple. Just don't press Q at the same time.
Do not press Q at the same time, Mayhem Academy. I beg of you.
That's the only way you lose this fight. Or don't get booped to the pit. Also that. Just play away from the pit. You're doing a good job.
There's the beat out. Back cushion running down Ultimate Weapon with Shax. Shatter out. Huge shatter.
Gets a shatter down. And Mayhem Academy doing what they needed to do. The support ult's absolutely not layered. They play it slow. They play it away from the pit. And they just roll over Bermuda. And they do set a quicker time, but it's not quite as quick as it could have been.
No, I mean, they definitely got stymied a little bit there on that push. Umte getting that great read on the spawn doors with the shatter. But still faster. Still plenty of time for them. And I think if Mayhem adjust themselves and make sure that they, you know, not over-aggress in the future, this is still looking like a very, very solid position for them.
Very much so. And I mean, don't forget, too, that Bermuda did get bailed out a bit by how that fight on second went. Mayhem Academy, very likely, you know, you want to subscribe to any parallel universe theory. I feel like we're the exception here, where for the most part, Mayhem Academy probably stops out at point B.
Yeah, for sure. They would have 100% stopped on second point if they would have actually held and won the map by now. If it wasn't for Bermuda having that miracle push, just the inches, the little tiny micrometer. I guess we do meters, so it would be the centimeters. The push just coming, you know, working against them there. But now Mayhem on the defense again, having about 2 minutes in the bank. Bermuda only about 1. So they're gonna have to make. They don't have a lot of time to push. You can't be swapping back and forth a lot here for Bermuda because you really don't have that much time. You're gonna go to OT very soon.
No, there's not much time at all. And meanwhile, look at Mayhem Academy. They're not going to run with Manitin on the Sombra here on the defense this time around. They're going pure, solid, good old-fashioned goats.
And goats, 3-3 is a very strong composition for this map. I mean, it's so enclosed. There are high grounds and low grounds, but it's relatively easy to rotate through them, and it's very boxed in. So you get a lot of value out of these shield tank setups, these tanky setups. Bermuda doing a little bit of scouting. I imagine they're going to make swaps as well, but instead, are they going to be really moving with the triple DPS strat? They will. They'll be moving the triple DPS strat here.
The problem is, I mean, you can run the triple DPS here, but at the very least, you're running 3-3. You have places to move around here on King's Row. You can take cover in the building, but oh, that's nice disruption coming from Ultimate Weapon. Going to get the Reinhardt a bit split away, and while the Reinhardt's split away, gets rockets down into the depths of that building. Ultimate Weapon at 55%.
Right now, Shu needs to be looking for the hacks on Manitin. Manitin is the key because Ultimate Weapon is so close to this barrage that if they can deny Manitin getting any Matrix out, Ultimate Weapon can get an incredible amount of value from Pharah.
Ultimate Weapon kind of going back to his roots and projectile DPS, but now Mayhem Academy, they have to commit, they have to strike. They're going to push Ultimate Weapon. He almost falls, he does. Manitin able to chase him down. Meanwhile, on the other side, Shu getting caught by Mangachu.
And this is it. This is the last fight. There's the res out on the Ultimate Weapon.
It's overtime right now. Do or die for Bermuda. They don't have the luxury of waiting for spawn advantage. The barrage comes out. He immediately gets just chunked around, tossed around like a rag doll. And Mayhem Academy, they're going to be holding off right here as Paintbrush just basks in the headshots.
Paintbrush just took out way fast. Incredibly, way fast. He took them out. Yeah. He took them out way fast.
He you know, said, you know what, you're on brand right now. Let me help you stay on brand.
Well, that was a really solid defense for Mayhem Academy. You saw the focus fire onto Ultimate Weapon there. He's playing Pharah. They get the Discord. They make sure that they're going the Zarya left click, and they have Manitin push the Pharah. So they try to run him over very quickly. So good focus fire. Mayhem Academy recognized they had to get Ultimate Weapon removed from the equation because that is the win condition for Bermuda.
Yeah, not only did you get him out of the equation early when he was in a better spot positioning, where you forced him out, you took him out, Then he comes back in. He still has a barrage, but he uses it under pressure. His team is losing the battle, and he doesn't get anywhere near as good an opportunity, and then you take him out again because of it.
Very, very smart from Mayhem Academy. Now, they have a little less than 2 minutes for this offense. There were ticks coming out from Bermuda, though. They did get 70% cap. So it's not the end of the world. It would have been bad if they hadn't gotten any ticks at all. It's still not great, but getting 70% means it's open for Bermuda to still have that win.
It means that they're not in the just absolutely abysmal scenario of, well, guys, I guess we're playing for the draw. It's like, no, they can confidently play for the win. And, I mean, holding for a minute 53 on Kings Row first, not that crazy. And they do come out here with the Moira early because they're expecting a more DPS-heavy setup, but Mayhem Academy could be rolling out with the 3-2-1.
Mayhem Academy, I think this is the right play as well, because they could actually make a swap if they want, just run standard goats against this, because Bermuda running this Moira goats means the longer the fight runs, the better it is for Mayhem. They just have the better composition with the Zen, but instead they're going to look for the win condition for that Sombra EMP.
And I think that makes sense. You can definitely get the EMP in 2 minutes. You usually get again. Perfection, the Madman sets up the pin one more time. No one once again Fact Fiction's Wild Ride.
And that was a huge charge, picking up essentially 2 for the value of 1 charge. Now Mayhem, they have control of the point. They've got an incredible amount of frags onto Bermuda. Bermuda's going to have to stagger out in here to touch. Here comes Shu. He's going to get back very soon.
They can stagger all they want. It's over. Mayhem Academy going to be getting Kings Row here in dominant fashion. And got to give credit here to our boy Russ. Just getting good pins. Yeah.
Russ Campbell.
Well, you know, we know him well enough. We stayed long enough.
We can say his name.
You were roommates with him, and I crashed at that place more than enough. Yeah.
It's Fact Fiction.
Yeah.
And he looked good. He's looked really good this series. And I think that Mayhem Academy on a whole, though, have made the proper adjustments for, like, when we saw that 3-3 with the Hammond, the anti-3-3 setup, they made sure to focus the Pharah, get the Discord, get all their value on them. And then right there, we see how aggressive that Bermuda was with the Moira, because really they have to be, because when you're playing Moira, you have to be aggressive. You have to be you have to be taking the fights as soon as possible. And Fact Fiction just recognized that, hit a charge, and it was a meaty charge.
And again, think about the game sense required for that. Fact Fiction is another one of these sort of, you know, I don't know what I call it, you know, the lost boys of Overwatch, like the people have not gotten the Overwatch League yet that are...
Well, he was in Overwatch League.
Yeah, he is. He's out of it for now. You are correct. I am thinking in the present mind. But for now, he's been out of it. But it's like, he's still really good. Still incredibly good, and I would argue even back in his tenure in OWL, he didn't get the most time to really show his stuff on the Outlaws, but you look at what he's doing here with the revamped Mayhem Academy team, it's been very good.
I mean, it is. He's been looked fantastic. Even last season where Mayhem looked kind of a mess, Mayhem Academy, I should say, you know, sometimes you have to make the distinction just to ensure, but I guess Mayhem also was a mess last season, but Fact Fiction looked good. He looked good last season as well, so...
Well, guys, so far, Mayhem Academy up 2-0. Will they pull the Fusion University and let them back in it? I think it's unlikely, but we still have another half to play. Join us after the break.